The top stories tonight in Y News. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, has confirmed that the staged transport strike organized by the group Manibela failed to disrupt public transportation routes within the metropolis and various regions across the country. The Secretary General of the House of Representatives, Reginald Velasco, has conveyed a resolute message in response to the statements made by former President Rodrigo Duterte against the institution and its leadership. The Senate is set to hold one more hearing on the contentious group in Socorro described by a senator as an alleged cult. And the World Health Organization names order issued by Israel to evacuate North Gaza as a death sentence for over 2,000 patients. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Monday, October 16, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Hardin Delgado. First in the news. The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board and the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority reported no significant disruptions in public transport operations during the transport strike organized by the Manibela Group. JP Nunez details why.
The Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, stated that the staged transport strike of Manibela failed to paralyze routes of public transportation, including here in the metropolis and in other regions. Stranded commuters were provided free rides by their respective city governments and the augmentation vehicles from the Philippine National Police and the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority. MMDA Acting Chairman Attorney Don Artes in a press conference also said that the strike has been a failure. He said that the situation earlier in the morning with passengers having difficulty to get rides is a normal situation every Monday during rush hour. The interagency monitoring team of the MMDA reported that only in Parañaque and in Manila has reported stranded passengers, which is only about 50 commuters.
Kung sinasabi niya nga, natagumpay siya dahil may nagsuspend ng classes at dahil naghanda yung pamahalaan, katawa-tawa po yan sa aking palagay. Ano ba na-achieve niya? Dahil nagsuspend ng klase, successful na siya? Ang pinangako niya at ang sinasabi niya ay 200,000 ang sasama. Tingnan niyo po yung kanilang motorcade. I can give you yung footage. 25 to 30 lamang. Asan po yung 200,000?
Meanwhile, Department of Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista stated that the group only wants to create noise and panic with some schools suspended their classes. However, Manibela's National President Mar Valbuena still claims that their transport strike has been successful with about 50 traditional units of jeepney and about 500 jeepney drivers joined their motorcade earlier today.
Matagumpay po dahil kung meron man pong pumiyahin ng mga jeepney, mangilang-ilan lamang. At pinalitat po talaga na halos paralisado po ang buong NCR. Dahil po karamihan na kahit hindi natin na member ng Manibela ay sumama po sa atin.
On the Facebook page of Manibela, they said to stage another protest tomorrow, October 17, in front of the LTFRB Central Office and in Mendiola. It was the third time this year that Manibela conducted a nationwide transport strike to oppose the deadline of industry consolidation, which is a component of the PUV modernization program. The previous two protests were joined by the transport group Piston. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is set to make his way to Saudi Arabia later this week. The president is gearing up to participate in the much-anticipated first ASEAN Gulf Cooperation Council Summit. This high-level gathering will delve into a range of crucial regional and international matters, among them the persistent conflict between Israel and the Hamas group. Nel Maribohok will tell us why.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s attendance at the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Gulf Cooperation Council Summit in Saudi Arabia is expected to be quick but packed with meetings with nation leaders and the Filipino community. DFA Assistant Secretary for the Office of the ASEAN Affairs Daniel Espiritu said that talks on possible cooperation in a supply activity will be among the topics that will be discussed during the ASEAN-GCC summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on October 20. ASEC Espiritu noted the cooperation will help ASEAN in addressing energy and food security.
Now, they can help ASEAN in addressing energy and food security. Energy security because they're petrochemical powerhouses, but also food security because some of the countries there, especially Qatar, are among the largest producers of fertilizers, and they can fill up the slack or the deficit on the ASEAN side.
President Marcos will meet the Filipino community and forge more business agreements at the sidelines of his visit. DFA officials said that President Marcos will also discuss the settlement of the unpaid salaries of over 10,000 overseas Filipino workers in Riyadh during the bilateral meeting between the Philippines and Saudi Arabia. PBBM is scheduled to meet also the Arab business leaders.
Part of the discussion could be the presentation of the Mahardika Fund to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and its businesses. Again, the protection of our nationals abroad, especially in terms of labor reforms being proposed for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
The GCC, which comprises Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman, first established ties with ASEAN in 1990. And this week's summit in Riyadh is expected to give that relationship a boost. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Information and Communications Technology calls for increased funding to bolster the country's digital defenses, highlighting the imperative to fortify the nation's cybersecurity infrastructure. The agency has expressed deep concern regarding the escalating cyber attacks targeting government agencies. Ray Pelayo explains why.
The Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, finds itself facing financial constraints in its mission to bolster cybersecurity, originally proposing a 30 billion pesos budget for 2024. The agency has received only 8 billion pesos allocated and approved by Congress. This reduced budget has raised concerns within the agency about its ability to deliver optimal services to various government entities.
It would greatly decrease our capability, not only with providing cybersecurity advices and completing our mandate, but also providing connectivity.
The recent cyber attacks on government websites proved that there is really a need to pay more attention in strengthening the agency's capability. With over 600 government agencies requiring protections, the importance of strengthening cybersecurity capabilities cannot be overstated.
Nakakabahala yung sunod-sunod na pa-atake. The timing is suspicious. People take advantage of this particular time na they try and attack and penetrate government institution websites.
The hackers recently penetrated the website of PhilHealth and the Philippine Statistics Authority, and just this weekend, the website of the House of Representatives.
Ang talagang tina-target ho nila are the personal data, which we in turn suspect would be used for scamming sa mga tao.
Despite the budgetary limitations, the DICT remains committed to doing its utmost to fortify defenses and ensure the security of vital government digital assets. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The House of Representatives Secretary General Reginald Velasco says the lower chamber is not only offended but threatened over the statements of former President Rodrigo Duterte. Duterte labeled the House of Representatives as the most corrupt institution, a statement that has deeply unsettled members of the lower chamber. He also revealed in an interview that intelligence fund of his daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte, will be used against alleged communists in the Congress, particularly ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
The Secretary General of the House of Representatives, Reginald Velasco, says the lawmakers will not remain silent after the statements made by former President Rodrigo Duterte against the institution and its leadership. This after the former chief executive called the House of Representatives as the most corrupt institution. He also said that Speaker Martin Romualdez is swallowing discretionary or pork barrel funds and that the Commission on Audit should be concerned about it. The lawmakers are also appealing to Duterte to stop making threats against its members. Duterte earlier revealed in an interview that intelligence funds of his daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte, will be used against alleged communists in the Congress, particularly ACT Teachers Party List Representative Franz Castro.
Well, hindi lang offended eh. Threatened, no? Threatened. Kasi tinethreaten niya yung isang member, no? Para bang, tapos kung nakita niyo yung buong video, ang sinabi niya, pag hindi pina-audit, no? Lahat na agencies, including Office of the President, he will call on businessmen, military, so parang people power to di ba?
The House political leaders has already condemned the statements made by former President Duterte. Following this, the Party-less Coalition Foundation Incorporated also expressed their support for Speaker Romualdez. Meanwhile, Velasco considers the attack against the website of the House of Representatives a serious threat. However, he does not believe it has something to do with its current problem with the former president.
So, I cannot make any conclusion related to sa problem ngayon eh. It could be an isolated case.
Rosalie Cos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Philippine Coast Guard has successfully recovered the fishing boat that was tragically rammed by a crude oil tanker in the waters of Agno, Pangasinan on October 2nd. The arduous recovery effort spanned 7 days, involving a joint operation between the PCG's BRP Malapascua and Harbor Star Salvaging Company. This collaboration culminated in the successful retrieval of the fishing boat, a crucial piece of physical evidence essential for the impending legal proceedings against the involved vessel MT Pacificana. PCG is diligently conducting a fact-finding investigation slated to conclude this week. The Marshall Islands relevant to this incident have been notified and stand ready to conduct actual inspections on the vessel FB Doreen.
Kasi mahalaga po to sa gathering po ng information at the same time establishing our evidence. Rest assured, yung fact-finding committee po natin ng Philippine Coast Guard will now finalize its investigation soon as possible time, because this will really help a lot in pursuing a solid case against the ship owner and the master of the vessel responsible for that Alison incident.
And for the news abroad, President Vladimir Putin confirmed that Russian army bolsters its positions as it is now preparing new active offensive operations. Maven Carrizo tells us the details.
Russian President Vladimir Putin confirmed on Sunday, October 15, that the Russian army is advancing its positions along the front lines in Ukraine, notably in Avdiivka, marking a new offensive strategy. Their objective is to encircle the eastern region of Ukraine. According to Western analysis, approximately 17.5% of Ukrainian territory has seen negligible net territorial gains, as the area remains predominantly under Russian control. This includes a Ukrainian Ukrainian counter-offensive from 4 months ago. Despite a modest net gain of 8 square miles that Ukraine reclaimed from Russia last year, penetrating Russian lines has proven to be a formidable challenge due to the extensive preparation for new active offensive operations across nearly the entire area. Both Russia and the United States have characterized the recent fighting around Avdiivka as new Russian offensive, labeling it as an active defense, according to Putin. The conflict in eastern Ukraine traces its roots back to 2014, stemming from the overthrow of a pro-Russian president during Ukraine's maiden revolution, coinciding with Russia's annexation of Crimea. Subsequently, this ignited confrontations between Russian forces and Ukraine's armed forces. Maven Carrizo, UNTV News and Rescue, we serve the people, we give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Marielle. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. The Senate will conduct one more hearing on the controversial group in Socorro, which according to a senator is indeed a cult. This report will tell us why. By all definitions of a cult, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa says he is convinced that the controversial group Socorro Bayanihan Services Incorporated, or SBSI, is indeed one, following his ocular inspection over the weekend. The lawmaker says, based on his dialogue with the members of the group in Sitio Capihan in Surigao del Norte, he believes the members are supposedly trying to protect their superiors.
Yung kanilang mga sagot nga doon pagdating ko doon sa area ay sabi ko parang rehearsed. Para may pinagtakpan talaga at ayaw nilang madadawit sa legal problems yung kanilang leader na si Senior Aguila at saka yung mga opisyalis ng kanilang grupo.
One of the sites that were inspected by De La Rosa was the group's exclusive cemetery, where more than 20 graves of children were found, with some as young as 1 day old. The senator says he advised the National Bureau of Investigation to probe the illegal burial ground and the circumstances surrounding the deaths of the children.
Nakita natin na, yun nga, nilagyan lang ng mga kahoy, nilagyan ng pangalan, uniform ng paggagawa, parang nagmamadali sila, naghanda. Halatang talaga lumalabas sa kulto ito by all definitions, by all elements of a cult, andon makikita mo sa SBSI. Yung pagiging yung paghihil niya kuno sa pagiging quack doctor doon sa mga naniwala mga tao, elemento yan ng cultism.
However, no evidence was found on the allegations of a Shabu laboratory and presence of private army. For now, De La Rosa sees the amendment of the Child Welfare Act as a possible legislation from the Senate's investigation. But he admits to craft a proposed measure seeking to regulate cults would be difficult.
Yung halimbawa, ayaw na talaga ng bata bumalik doon sa kanyang parents. Tingnan natin yun. Pagdating naman sa formation of a cult, medyo mahirap yan sa ngayon dahil nakikita ko pag maggawa tayo ng legislation pertaining to that ay talaga mag-question yung constitutionality ng batas na yan dahil nga yung ating freedom of religion ay mababiolate.
De La Rosa will call for another hearing to conclude the investigation before session resumes. For now, Senior Aguila, along with 3 other high-ranking officials of the SBSI, remain under the custody of the Senate. Once the SBSI probe wraps up, De La Rosa plans to investigate another alleged cult, which is said to be a sister group of SBSI in Socorro. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God. New developments have emerged in Sitio Capihan, Socorro, Surigao del Norte as authorities uncover alleged irregularities over the weekend. These troubling revelations involve claims of children buried in a grave and children identified as common-law wives of adults within the Socorro community, led by Jayden Scalario, also known as Senior Aguila. Department of Justice, or DOJ Undersecretary Brigida Dulay, has confirmed that authorities are actively investigating these distressing allegations.
Habang tumatagal ay dumadagdag ang ating impormasyon. Salamat na rin sa ginagawang hearing na Senado. At kung mayroon bang impormasyon na dumating pa, ayun naman ay ating ikakalap at isasama sa panibagong investigasyon kung kinakailangan.
Former Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB Executive Assistant Jeffrey Tumbado was notably absent from the National Bureau of Investigation earlier today. Tumbado was expected to appear and submit evidence regarding the alleged corruption within the LTFRB. Dante Amento tells us why.
The National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, has not yet received any statement or affidavit from former Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB Executive Assistant Jeffrey Tumbado. Tumbado did not show up today at NBI after subpoenas were issued for him to submit evidence over his allegation of corruption in the LTFRB. He explained that he was dealing with an important matter.
Hindi naman po ako makaka-show up ngayon kasi po may mga inaayos po kami ng abogado ko.
But Tumbado assures to cooperate with the NBI.
Siguro mag-uusap po na kami ng lawyer ko. Definitely naman, makikipag-cooperate ako sa NBI.
Meanwhile, the Department of Justice or DOJ revealed Tumbado's lawyer dropped from representing him. But no reason was given. DOJ Undersecretary Brigido Dulay said Tumbado's non-appearance today will not hinder the investigation to continue. They will also wait for his statement to afford him the proper due process of law.
Hindi sinabi pero karapatan naman ng abogado na magbitiw kahit anong oras at karapatan din naman ni Mr. Tumbado na magpalit ng abogado at any time. Well, ang consequence nun is yung kanyang investigation ay pending at ongoing at itutuloy-tuloy yung investigation na yun sapagkat hindi pa siya nagbibigay ng statement.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
In preparation for the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections scheduled for October 30, the Philippine National Police is taking significant steps to ensure a safe and orderly electoral process. Police Chief Police General Benjamin Acorda Jr. has revealed plans to deploy 4,429 police personnel to serve as Board of Election Inspectors or BEI, deputized by the Commission on Elections or COMELEC. These police personnel are primed and ready to uphold their duties, contributing to the smooth conduct of the elections across the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, Calabarzon, and Bicol region.
So far, we have identified the personnel, the number of personnel, and as a matter of fact, to include the names, kung mag-identify na saan sila, sino sila, saan sila pupunta, kailan sila pupunta. And despite this, we encourage that within this period, all the commanders are free to call us, the command group, kung meron pang kailangang adjustment.
Acorda also stressed the PNP's commitment to monitoring and addressing vote-buying activities and campaigns without the necessary permits, particularly targeting elements deemed hostile to the state. The PNP is strategically deploying an adequate number of personnel across different barangays, categorized based on the level of security concern. A total of 356 barangays fall under the red category, 1,325 under the orange category, and 1,196 under the yellow category.
And in other global news, a 6.3 magnitude earthquake has hit western Afghanistan for the third time in a week, killing at least one person and injuring another 100, according to health authorities. More than 1,000 have already been killed in the last two powerful earthquakes that hit the country, and over 90% of them were women and children, as reported by UNICEF. With the new quake, program head of the Medicine Sans Frontiers Afghanistan, Yahya Khalila, said casualties are likely to be low as people feel unsafe and are choosing to sleep outside in tents instead of inside their houses. The country has been suffering from an economic crisis since the Taliban took power in 2021, with its interference to relief efforts affecting the disaster response. Afghanistan and the Hindu Kush mountain range in particular lies near the junction of the Eurasian and Indian tectonic plates, making it more prone to earthquakes. The Israel Defense Force and Israel's Ministry of Defense issued a joint statement announcing the implementation of an evacuation plan in northern Israel. The plan will extract residents of northern Israel who live in the area up to 2 kilometers from the border of Lebanon to state-funded guest houses, following updates from the Northern Command. Among the 28 communities in the evacuation plan are the municipalities of Gajar, Dishon, Metula, Arab al-Ramsha, Hanita, and Fargiladi, among others. According to the defense authorities, the evacuation will be executed from the help from the heads of local municipalities. The evacuation was announced prior to the planned ground offensive by the Israeli forces in the area.
The IDF is calling for the people of Gaza to evacuate to southern Gaza for their safety. Israel and Hamas are at war, a war that Hamas started with a brutal massacre that left over 1,000 Israeli children, women, and men slaughtered. They've continuously attacked Israel every day since. We have a responsibility to protect our people and make sure this thing never happens again.
In a critical development, an order issued by Israel to evacuate North Gaza has been labeled by the World Health Organization as a grave threat, potentially endangering the lives of over 2,000 patients. Therese Longbowen tells us why.
Amidst the looming threat of a ground invasion in the Gaza Strip, residents in the northern regions were given a challenging directive to relocate southward, posing a severe dilemma for over 2,000 patients currently hospitalized. In a recent statement, the World Health Organization revealed that hospital directors and staff now grapple with a grim choice, whether to leave patients behind or brave the dangers of transporting them amidst an ongoing bombing campaign. In light of these harrowing circumstances, the WHO has declared the order tantamount to a death sentence, given the strained capacity of health facilities to accommodate the influx of patients seeking refuge. Compounding this crisis, the Gaza Strip remains under siege, grappling with severe water shortages and limited access to critical necessities like food, power, and medical supplies. The remaining fuel reserves powering vital hospital generators are expected to be exhausted within a mere 2 days. In a plea for urgent assistance, appeals have been sent to the United Nations and various organizations, urging the establishment of humanitarian corridors to rescue lives amidst these perilous and trying conditions. Therese Longbowen, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Maria Latoza, reporting live from Perth, Australia. Good evening.
In a highly anticipated face-off at the PhilSports Arena in Pasig City, the AFP Lady Gunners emerged victorious, clinching the best-of-3 final series against the Senate Lady Defenders and securing their inaugural championship in the UNTV Volleyball League. Before a throng of spectators at the PhilSports Arena, the AFP team dominated the Senate squad in a straight sets with scores of 25-16, 25-13, and 25-18. The team will bring home a generous prize of ₱500,000 pesos to be allocated to their chosen charitable institution, the AFP Educational Benefit System Office.
Malaking tulong po siya kasi dahil po dito nakakapag-aral po ako at makakapagtapos po ako ng kolehiyo. Sobrang saya po kasi nag-effort po sila para tulungan po yung mga beneficiary po ng team nila. Thank you po sa AFT dahil po sa kanila nakapag-aral po kaming mga beneficiary, and thank you din po sa UNTV and sa mga nag-organize po itong event. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the Senate Lady Defenders, as the runners-up, will receive 250,000 pesos for their beneficiary, the Senate Spouses Foundation Incorporated. 100,000 pesos will go to the Morale and Welfare Division, and consolation prizes of 50,000 pesos each will be granted to the beneficiaries of the Department of Foreign Affairs, Judiciary, and Ombudsman. Kuya Daniel also announced that in the upcoming league season, the prizes awarded to participants for their selected beneficiaries will be doubled, promising an even more impactful contribution to charitable causes.
We're looking forward sa mga susunod po na season natin ay mas marami pa ang atin pong makakasama na maglalaro ng mga teams. Nagpapasalamat po ako sa lahat ng mga nanonood at patuloy na tumatangkilik sa mga nag-subscribe sa UNTV Sports, sa lahat ng mga nandito po ngayon, sa lahat po ng mga sumuporta sa bawat team, and of course, ang ating pong mga kapatid sa MCGI, ang members ng Church of God International, na kasama natin palagi sa lahat ng mga advokasya na makabubuti para sa ating mga kapwa-tao.
As UNTV Cup Season 10 is set to kick off on October 30, an exciting development awaits fans and supporters. The Commission on Elections, a prominent government agency, is joining the ranks of participants in this meaningful charity basketball league, brought to life by Mr. Public Service, Kuya Daniel Razon. Gladys Tuabi has the report.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, is set to make its mark in the premier charity basketball league of the Philippines, the UNTV Cup. In this unique league, public servants hailing from various government agencies unite under a single vision: to aid the community, particularly their chosen beneficiaries.
Ito ay isang pagpapakita rin sa sambayanan na pwede naman na kahit paano hindi focus lang lagi sa trabaho. Pwede rin naman magkaroon ng relaxation ang mga public servants natin, at the same time para maipakita natin yung pagiging yung sportsman-like attitude at saka yung pagiging fair sa laban at pamamarisan tayo ng ating mga kababayan. When you win a game or even the championship, ay dapat yung pagkapanalo mo ay ma-share mo sa lahat. At siyempre, yung konsepto na meron ka rin kasing natutulungan. Napaka-importante yon. Yun ang kakaiba dito sa UNTV Cup. Yung meron kang natutulungan.
Chairman George Garcia emphasizes that this initiative goes beyond the court, aiming to cultivate friendship, camaraderie, and a sportsman-like spirit among all participating government entities. It stands as a shining example of collaboration for a greater cause.
Kahit paano, siyempre kami ay bago dito sa laban na ito. Siguro naman kahit paano makakabigay din kami ng magandang laban upang mas makuha natin yung galing ng ibang teams at we will have to learn from this first experience. And hopefully sa mga susunod pa na mga laban pa, mas malilinang namin ang aming pong kasanayan, ang skills ng miyembro ng team namin, at madami kami matututunan, lalong-lalo na ang friendship and camaraderie of the other agencies.
Amidst their dedication to public service, COMELEC remains steadfast in their commitment to the game. They continue to engage in rigorous practices and training sessions, ensuring they're prepared for the opening of UNTV Cup Season 10. Balancing their duty to the public with their dedication to the sport, they embody the spirit of true athletes with a heart for service. Gladys Tuabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 23, it says, "Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you." And those are the reasons behind the news, October 16, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. Because we need to know. We will always ask why. I am Hardin Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.